Hey, my name is Megan and welcome back to my channel where I help agency owners scale their businesses. Lead generation should be one of the easiest parts of landing clients because you have the world at your fingertips. You have access to infinite leads, and that is exactly what makes it so difficult. Where do you even start? This video applies to any professionals that are B2B, business to business, business to business, meaning that you are a business selling your products or services to other businesses. Now, because no part of lead generation or client acquisition can work on its own as an island, we are going to take a more holistic approach. We're going to talk about how to generate high quality B2B leads, but we're also going to talk about what to do once you have them. If that sounds good, give this video a thumbs up and let's jump right in. Let's start with step 1. Now, if you want to generate high quality qualified leads, then we need to take a step back and look at your offer, because you can't even begin to gather leads if you have a weak offer. What I want you to do, whether you are a one-person show or you're an agency with a small team like me, doesn't matter. I want you to ask yourself, how is my business different from all of my competitors? Let's do an example together. My agency actually started off as a full-service digital marketing agency. Big mistake, I talk about it in this video. I will drop that link below. Go watch that one after this one. There was nothing differentiating us from every other digital marketing agency out there. My leads weren't going to pay attention to me. Why would they? I wasn't giving them a reason to. So I had to ask myself, how can we be different? The answer came in the form of niching down. We eliminated all of our services aside from blogging. Okay, so all we started doing was writing blogs because we are really, really good at writing, and that's what my background is in. Then we niched down even further, and now we only write blogs for brands in the health and wellness arena. Guess what? Now we stand out because there are far fewer businesses just like mine. All right, so you need to do something like this. That's step 1. Step 2, let's start talking about how you can actually find leads. There are many ways to skin a cat. I'm going to tell you what works best for my students and I, and then I'll share a few additional methods as well. Some people run social media ads, particularly Facebook ads. This can work. Some businesses are making this work really well, but I would argue that those businesses are the exception to the rule. Running ads these days is so hard because it's really competitive, which means it's going to be very expensive. I talk about it more in this video. I will drop that link in the description below. Your goal right now is to start landing clients and generating revenue, not become a Facebook ads expert. So unless you already have solid experience with this or you have the money to hire an ads expert, I would shelve this method for now. Another option is to use a tool like Lime Leads, which is basically kind of a database of contacts. They have all sorts of filters so that you can start zeroing in on businesses that you think you're interested in working with and individuals who you want to contact. Lime Leads is just one example. There are tons of tools like this, and most of them you can at least try them for free, or they have a free tier. Of course, anything you use for free is going to be limited. Still, I will always suggest try it for free first, and then if you like it and it seems, like a good investment, then invest. My students and I use tools like this and they work like a charm. They're really helpful for finding a lot of leads quickly. It's a very efficient method for generating leads. Another method, you could encourage inbound leads using something like a lead magnet, which I talk about more in this video. The link is below. Basically, a lead magnet is a free piece of content that you offer people in exchange for their contact information, more often than not, their email address. Those people then become warm leads and you can continue to nurture that relationship. To be very clear, I would not rely only on this method, okay? Getting 100% inbound leads sounds really nice, but it's a very, how do I word this? It's slow to grow. It's not going to happen overnight. You will land clients much faster by going out and getting them. And that brings me to manual generation, which is another method. This is much of what I teach my students in Revenue Spark, and it's one of the methods that I use a lot for my own business. What's so great about manual lead generation is that it gives you a lot more control. My students and I handpick who we want to work with, and it doesn't get much better than that. We really lean on Google and LinkedIn to find clients that we want to work with, but there are all sorts of platforms that you can use to look for qualified leads. The point is that you're manually going through them one at a time and asking yourself, is this a business that I think I would like to work with? I will always be transparent with you, so here's my recommendation. If you are a new business or if you have a very small team, or especially if it's just you are probably not in a place yet where you could handle tons and tons of clients anyway, okay? Not yet. You will one day, if that's what you want. So I suggest you start with manual outreach to get your feet wet first. Then when you can handle a bigger workload and you have all the systems and processes in place that will allow your business to scale, then you can switch to or incorporate a method of lead generation that allows you to gather leads faster, using a tool like Lime Leads or one of its alternatives. All right, so you have differentiated your services and you've also started collecting high quality, qualified leads. Step 3 is to start reaching out. If you connected with a lead on LinkedIn, then you can just send them a direct message right on the platform. I've got a whole video on this, so I will drop the link below. Otherwise, you can try cold emailing. I've also got tons of videos on that, so I will drop several links below. After you finish this video, go watch those. And I also have a couple videos that will show you how to find people's email addresses for cold emailing. Those links are also below. Landing clients, especially if you're using cold emailing, is largely a numbers game. And that's because you are going to be ignored, you're going to be rejected. This is totally normal. It's okay. Don't sweat it. You do want to reach out to a lot of people. I would maybe even say reach out to as many people as you can, but only as long as you can maintain the quality of your leads and the quality of your communication. Never, ever, ever, ever sacrifice quality for the sake of quantity. This will backfire. This is why I tell people to be careful about automating this process. It's really hard to automate this whole thing and maintain that quality. I believe it's possible, and I know that there are some people out there who are automating parts of the process, but it's not really something I recommend, especially if you're just getting started, and it's really not what my students and I rely on. As your business scales, you will find room to scale your lead gen and your outreach as well, but start small and keep it simple. You can still make really good money, I promise. I'm doing it myself. I have no automations. I don't send hundreds of cold emails a week. I am really good about qualifying my leads to the point where I know if I reach out to 10 leads, I'm probably going to close at least one of them. As my agency goes, we are ramping up this process, and one day we will look at sending more cold emails than we are right now. But we're still at the point where keeping up with our growth is the challenge, not landing clients. We land clients very easily. When you're reaching out to people, for the love of God, just be yourself. I know it sounds really corny, but there is nothing more convincing and authentic and real than just talking like you normally would. Act like you're talking to a friend. Another tip, don't try to sell. Try to help. This is a mindset shift that I talk about in this video. If you're having trouble with sales, you're probably going to find this really helpful, so I'm dropping that link below. Another piece of advice, only say what you absolutely have to say. If it's not crucial to move the relationship forward, delete it. You don't need it. Be sure to end your email or your message with a strong call to action. I always recommend asking the lead to get on a call, whether it's a phone call or a Zoom call or whatever. And the reason for this is that when you get on a call and you can hear each other's voices, and in the case of Zoom, maybe you can see each other, it really helps build trust and remove some of the mystery, and it's really going to help your closing rate. We are moving on to step 4, which is follow up. If you don't hear back after the first try, that's okay. That's totally normal. I wouldn't have many of my clients if I didn't follow up enthusiastically. I suggest you keep these emails very short. The way I explain it to my students is that it's like a gentle nudge. You are gently nudging the lead to remind them that you are wanting to hear back from them and that you're interested in talking more. Step 5 isn't so much of a step as it is a rule of thumb. I did not make this up. I'm borrowing it from Sunny Lenarduzzi, who is one of my mentors. Sunny says, learn, test, fail, grow, repeat. I think that's the order. Learn, test, fail, grow, repeat. That should be it. Not everything is going to work out for you, and that's okay. That's why when students enroll in my program, coaching is a part of what they get. There will inevitably be parts of this process that need to be tweaked to fit you more perfectly, and that's because no two of us are identical. As you test out different systems and processes, some of them are going to work. Great, double down on them. Some will fail. Great, now you can eliminate those as a possibility. Look at failure as redirection, okay? If this doesn't work, try this instead. And keep going and keep iterating, and you will continue zeroing in on the processes and steps and systems and strategies that work best for your business. This is barely scratching the surface, and there is so much more that I would love to teach you about building a business on your terms. I work with agency owners and teach them how to scale their businesses. I also work with freelancers and consultants. I teach professionals my exact method for landing clients. My program, Revenue Spark, is self-paced, so you can go through it on your own terms, but coaching is a part of it, and you also get access to the whole community of students, so you have all the support you could ever need. This community is bulletproof. If you do the work, it works. And you have my personal promise that as long as you follow the program and seek out extra help when you need it, whether it's from the community or it's from me, there is no way it can fail. If you think you might be interested in enrolling, I'm dropping the link below. The next step is to book a call. These calls are only for people who are interested in possibly enrolling. I do not offer coaching calls outside of my students, okay? Thanks so much for sticking with me. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and support my channel. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss my new content. And if you have any questions, drop them in a comment below. I'll see you next time.